Welcome. This is Beth Reynoso with Coldwell Banker, and this presentation is meant to help you understand what is escrow and what does it do. So let's go ahead and start. It's a last around anywhere between 2 to 3 minutes. So understanding escrow. What is escrow? Escrow is a neutral party that works for both the seller and the buyer. What does escrow do? Well, in your home ownership journey, you are going to, in the state of California, you are required to open escrow. So this is the neutral party that is the communication link to all parties in the transactions. They go ahead and prepare the escrow instructions. So when the buyer submits the purchase agreement, it usually lets them know how long they are requiring for escrow to be. It could be 20, 30, 45, up to 60 days. It really depends on what the buyer needs. It also tells you what kind of offer they're doing, if they're doing a cash offer or a loan offer or any other type of trading for the house. And it also will go ahead and ask who's going to pay for title, who's going to pay for inspections. All of those things are specified in the purchase agreement, and they're the instructions for escrow to carry out. In addition to this, escrow requests a preliminary title research to determine the present condition of title of the property. Now, this is very important because they need to make sure that the property that is being sold can be sold by the seller and that the property is free of any deeds or any type of debts that could come with. So that's a really good thing that escrow does. It complies with the lender requirements specified in the escrow agreement. So if you're buying a house with the lender is going to go ahead and say, okay, so this is how many days we're going to need to close escrow, anywhere between 20 to 30 days. That's usually how it is. It's a 20,000, a 20% down payment. And this is how much we're going to go ahead and give in the beginning, earnest money deposit. And then after this, the instructions are carried out. It receives and holds the funds from the buyer. So when you open escrow, the buyer automatically gives the earnest money deposit, which is in good faith, basically showing that the buyer is serious about the escrow. So that's it is hold in escrow. None of the realtors touch the money in any transaction in California. Escrow manages all that, which, if you ask me, that's perfectly fine. Don't like dealing with that. It's always better to have a neutral party doing it. And it prepares to secure the deed or other documents related to escrow. So it gets everything ready to go. It prorates the taxes, interest, insurance, and rents according to instructions. So if we're going to go ahead and open escrow and we're only doing this transaction, we're giving it a 20-day or 30-day, they're going to go ahead and prorate everything and tell everybody involved in the transaction, whether it's the seller or the buyer, who owes what. It secures and releases of all contingencies or conditions as imposed on any particular escrow. So when you open an escrow, usually you do a contingency upon inspection, meaning we are going to buy the house as long as the house is okay. Meaning if they don't find anything horrible with the house, they will continue with the purchase of the house. So the inspection is usually one of the things that needs to be done right away. And also when you're buying with a loan, an appraisal is the thing that needs to get out of the way right away. So they know that the lender is going to be able to fund it. It requests issuance of the title insurance policy, closes escrow when all the instructions of the buyers have been carried out. So once everything in the contract, the purchase agreement contract is being carried out, and then it can go ahead and close the file. And disperses the funds as authorized by instructions, including charges for title insurance, recording fees, real estate commissions, and loan payoffs. Prepares the final statements for all parties, accounting for the disposition of all funds accounted to in escrow. So this is, again, they deal with all the financing and all the finance numbers that are involved in the transaction. That way, the realtors are not touching the money, they're not involved with that. Usually, that's a private conversation between buyer and the escrow or seller and the escrow. We never really know what the final numbers are as realtors because that information is private between those two parties. So what does it mean when escrow closes? Well, just to, make it super simple, that's when you get your keys. In California, however, it's officially closed when the grand deed is recorded. That means that it changes names. So that's when you get your keys to your new home. This is a day that every realtor looks forward to when they open escrow. My promise to you is results that you can count on. We will have your best interest at all times. We will negotiate to get you the best deal possible. You will be supported and informed through the entire process. We have helped buyers find their dream home, saving them money and time. Let me help you. Here's my contact information. Thank you so much for joining me and listening to a bit of information, which is very useful when you're going through the buying or selling process. Understanding what escrow is it's just a tidbit of what the transaction can be, and knowledge is power. The more you know, the less intimidated you become by it. Take care of yourself and have a good day.